utilize oxygen while you are moving vigorously, right? So if your heart muscle is really weak, you put a little bit of workload, you can have a heart attack, right? If you look at the example that's used in movies sometimes is men or people engaging intimately and they have a heart attack, right? Any unexpected stimulus, your cardiac muscle is weak because you haven't trained it. So your heart cannot take the work. That's number one. Number two, you don't have efficient blood flow to your heart, right? The heart has to work so much harder to do average work because that is muscle. There are different types of muscle. There's skeletal muscle, there's cardiac muscle, there's different types of muscle in the body. That particular type of muscle, you never trained it, right? So it can't carry you when you need to do some vigorous work. Unfortunately, now today, because we're sitting in front of the computer, a lot of the population, it does not require you to do any work. So we're not trained. You only think of athletes training, right? If I'm dealing with athletes or my coaches that also work with athletes, everybody's got a heart rate monitor, not a tracker, right? So I like to make the difference between a fitness tracker and a heart rate monitor. So I remember when when fitness trackers came out, right? So my clients see me all the time, usually like I have my favorite brand. I use them all the time. Myself and my colleagues will always comparing what's the latest one for people that run, people that swim, football people. And then right towards the holidays, they come out with new iPhone or headphones and new, heart rate monitors. So my clients will come in, did you see the new, I think that one of the first main ones was Fitbit. Y'all heard of Fitbit? When Fitbit came out, oh, right, great. I have a fitness tracker. And I was like, a fitness tracker? It's a fitness tracker. Now, before, old school was the pedometer. The pedometer used to click onto just a little thing. You click it onto your sneaker or onto your hip, and it's tracking your steps. Now it's a little more technology. Now that can also sync up to your phone. Now there's the fitness tracker. The fitness tracker is for the population that's not moving. So when I came, I was like, this is great. I can give this to my mother, or I can give it to an older person, and that doesn't move at all, right? Because myself and most of my clients, our parents are getting older, and you're going to have to pay in terms of time, energy, and money because they're not moving, if we just keep it a buck, right? Plus their brain cognitive function is decreasing because there's no circulation, because you're not moving. The hips are closed down because they're in hip flexion. This closed position is hip flexion. I know from working with physical therapists, because you're sitting in hip flexion, that means the butt, your glute muscles are atrophied, not even from vanity. They're flat, atrophied, like they've been in a cast because you've been sitting on them, right? If this is not working, then my back is doing extra work. So just purely from a functional standpoint, all of these things are adding up to the inactivity, right? The older parents, they were not raised in the heart rate monitor, fitness tracker, internet age, right? They had more activity in the president's physical fitness test when they were children. But now as they get older and technology has changed, they're moving less. A lot more people are not living with several families close to each other, so they're not getting out. Maybe perhaps the most that our parents get out is church. Or now praise dancing online is like whole activity of dancing and dance stomping and shouting. And I know more women. My mother's done praise dance, like modern dance in the church, which I was like, that's great. She's moving. But basically, most people today in the cities are office workers sitting in front of the computers remotely for hours and hours. It is extremely unhealthy for your posture. Your heart is not getting work. Your butt is not getting work. Your legs are not getting work. Your brain is not on great speaking terms with your nervous system because you're not asking it, giving it any commands. So what we want to do, right, that fitness tracker is to make you get up out of your office chair and track your steps, right? It's meant to see how many steps to help you to become more aware that, wow, I'm sitting inside of an office chair. I'm not getting anything. And then to give you a number similar to calories. Most people don't want to count the calories, right? 10,000 steps is actually that's a good amount of steps. 10,000, I see most people, I all the time don't get 10,000 steps unless sometimes I'm walking to other towns because I walk a lot. I don't even think about it. I walk or I bicycle. But I can tell you during a workout, I'm extremely efficient with the time that I do get in. So I find for me personally, 10,000 steps I don't find it efficient for me, but my mindset is already my intentional movement practice is my intentional movement practice, right? But I still have activity in my day, Why? Because I know the standard for movement and fitness is so low. It is not enough for me to sit down inside a machine and go like this and go like this when I think of what I'm up against later in the future, what I'm going to need my body to do. Another way to think about it, right? Working with nurses, having some doctors as clients, my mother working with older people. I'm thinking about what are their major complaints, and I'm watching people as they're going down south. They're not able to move anymore. That's also part of my incentive because if we're honest, we're usually going towards pleasure or trying to get away from pain. So that saying you don't use it, you lose it is literal. If you don't move your butt cheeks, if you don't make your butt cheeks burn as a result of work, they will not be able to get you out of harm's way, and you're going to have back pain. Period. Back pain is toothaches, and back pain is extremely debilitating, right? Also, the most common surgery, hip surgery. So there's ipsilateral, contralateral contractions, right? The body's ability to do this. If we're working inside physical therapy, they will usually put you on balance pads. You don't even notice these things. They'll put you on balance pads so you can even this up. My obliques, my hips, my butt are all working. If you lose the ability to do this, or you've had an injury and you don't have balance, you can't walk anymore. So what are they send you to physical therapy? So the tracking for steps with this, the track is just so you get up out of your chair and move, and you have a way to measure where you should be. Same concept as calories, because most people sometimes they get 10,000. I see some people doing 20,000. For you to do 20,000 steps a day, you have to have activity. I see some people like one of our favorite girls. She's got a little walking treadmill as she's on a computer. She's walking all the time. I think it can go to the other. I don't know if I want to call it extreme, but the reality is activity is not built into your day. I think there's a difference between, I like the farmer and the paparista. Me picking the watermelons up and throwing them into the back of the truck does not compare to me just going like this. So again, I feel like the frame of reference is not holistic. Like it's like people saying that you're a carnivore, you're stuffing meat all day, but you haven't run down on animals. You haven't dug holes. We went on an herbal tour a couple of weeks ago, and the Mayans used to dig a pit, and after they dig a pit for, they used to call it a Mayan hole or Mayan refrigerator. They dig a hole and then they dig a little tunnel, right, to put their meat and other stuff in, and so the ground is cool, right, and also so that the animals won't come in. It is no joke to dig a hole. Digging a hole is extremely hard work. Chopping a piece of wood, some simple trees in the yard, is hard work. So this is, to me, is not enough. It's something, so I call it, you're not rusting. But I would not use that as an indicator of physical fitness if you don't have something to compare it to. And I'm not just talking about putting on muscle, I'm talking about functionality, right? You can't do this without pain. You can't reach overhead. That's where the injuries are going to happen, when you're doing real life movement, not when you're sitting inside of a machine. So we need the body to do, the capacity to do work, 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 work. Push, pull, lift, right? When you see the girls are now that with CrossFit, they've gotten out pushing the sled, that's real life work. But where's there an opportunity for you to push a sled, right? That's to me why I love the farmer. I love, if I go in the garden, I'm bleeding in sweat. I can like drop weight just a day inside of the garden, right? So that kind of work that's getting your heart rate up, that's your body's capacity to utilize oxygen efficiently. That's what we're measuring with the VO2 max. Now, what we're doing with a puzzle is how do we create that kind of intensity and real life motion and work from our little house, right? Fortunately, I like stuff like that. That's like a puzzle. But that's a challenge if you don't have the machine. And I'm fascinated by that because I know more people don't have a gym membership than do have a gym membership. And then it's the gym. It's the gym. But the gym, just like the juicer, really is your teeth, right? The first juicer is your teeth. The original gym is real life, where you have to come outside in the sunshine, interact with other people, pick up and play with the ball, pick up children, other people, and pick up food and do work. work with wood, work with food. That's real life work. That is fitness. When I encounter those people, they are fit. They can perform at the drop of a dime, right? So we're just measuring your body's capacity to do that. If you are only in the gym and you kept, like people do year after year, doing the same walking, the same running, now you can see your body's likely going to adapt. That's cardiovascular. But if you look at the sprinter and you look at the runner, their body types are different. That's not enough of a balanced program, right? A balance where you need cardio for the heart, you need mobility so you don't have stuck joints, right? You can move a full range of motion. If I can only go like this, I can't do a full overhead press. And I want to do that pain free. So I want to be mobile in my hips and all my joints. Then I want flexibility, right? So I'm not so tight so I can stay injury free. Then I want strength training, right? So my skeletal muscle, I have good quality skeletal muscle, right? That's the quality of your nutrition, real food. So I want good quality muscle tissue because that's moving the levers of the bones is my muscle. If I don't have dense quality muscle, then my bones are going to thin out. Also, hormonally, when we get to a certain age, we start to experience like a deterioration almost of the muscles, of the bones, and we start to lose exponentially a certain amount of muscle every year. This is several. We can keep going on to the different reasons why we are not seeing the different types of results, or why our bodies are changing. It seems like we're trying to do what we did 20 years ago, and why is it not working? Right? Because you're losing muscle. You weren't losing muscle at this rate before. You're losing muscle. So you want to do things that are going to ask your body to put on muscle as a response to the positive stress you're putting on it. And you want to eat real food. A whole bunch of potato chips is not, you can eat enough calories, that's not going to give you muscle. The body is not stupid. A bunch of all of these different fake foods with flavorings in your mouth, loads of calories, loads of chemicals, which your body's going to respond to. Usually it's inflammatory, which is the basis from which all disease starts. Basically, the body's like, why are you putting this inside of me? Right? So if you want good quality skin, if you want to have not be constipated, you want to look at the quality of your food. I will always be an advocate for real food in the appropriate portions for you, and then looking at your digestion. Are you chewing the food properly? Are you stressed out while you're eating? Are you eating while you're running down the street? That's the stressful type of eating, right? And that becomes unconscious. So we want to make the effort to slow down and calm down to eat the food. All of it is connected, right? So back to that, the tracker is for steps and just activity, but that's not necessarily intense, vigorous movement that's going to give you hypertrophy. When I look at the women in our age group, most of them are doing steps. I'll be honest with you, I don't think most people are going to sustain the 10,000 steps because of how much time it takes, right? Unless you switch your mindset to one where you have activity throughout your day, which I encourage. You're just an active person. You literally take the steps. You literally walk from here. That is your habit, that you make the effort to go through the mental discomfort of, dang, I don't feel like walking up these steps at the airport. Those of you out, and we don't go to the airport all the time. What are you going to do that's sustainable? But your movement practice in your house should have cardio, flexibility, and strength, right? If you don't have the equipment, you don't have the gym, what are you going to do? So by now, you all should have a foundation that if you're on vacation, which I see our nurse, she's on vacation, whatever's available. And now it's a treat. You don't need the gym. But if you go into a gym, you can use a gym. If you have a little small bedroom or hotel room, you can still get a good, vigorous movement practice. You have a foundation. You understand what you're doing, how to keep yourself safe. You understand what the intensity should feel like. You have some objective feedback so you can see if your body has gotten used to it. If your body gets used to it, you're not going to get as much continued development out of it. But keep in mind, we're losing more muscle every year. That's your metabolism going out the window. You're not burning calories efficiently if you're losing muscle. If you're eating fake food and you're not moving, it's one of the reasons why our bodies keep changing. We don't understand what's happening to our body. That's hormonal, right? And that's because we are losing muscle. And then also we're not we're not sleeping as much. Menopause can definitely cause us to have Insomnia, I would definitely say social media. I'm going to call it social media sickness or something. Social media condition or disorder, right, is affecting, that's helping you, causing your body to secrete more cortisol, which is going to work in conjunction with insulin to make you store more fat. So it's really imperative that we constantly think of ways to implement relaxation into our day, because psychologically and subconscious, most of your habits are coming from your subconscious. We are now hardwired to gain weight even before you put or adipose tissue weight before you put the food in your mouth, because of your subconscious, the way you are managing stress or not processing stress is driving your autopilot behaviors. So this kind of feedback is telling us, helping us to guide what we're choosing to be our skeleton for fitness, right? For physicality, right? It'll help us see how to prioritize. Why is it so important, not only to my health, but to my physical health, my emotional health, for me to have a physical outlet. And then periodically, monthly, you check in with your pictures, if your weight is going up or if it's going down. Water weight, inflammation, adipose tissue, right? It's not just a number on a scale. You want to be able to give those numbers meaning, put it into a context so you're not beating yourself up. And you can see how your body responds. I wasn't getting as much sleep. Get more sleep, watch your body drop down inflammation and drop down sometimes 5 pounds that you've been struggling with, like, and sometimes in a matter of days, right? Does that make sense, Regina? I know that's a long answer, but I like for us to understand exactly why we're doing what we're doing. That's why I love it. Everyone's like, why do I gotta get a heart rate monitor? Not the same thing as the fitness tracker. Much, much more efficient. That's why you see boxers, athletes, cyclists, they have several different things hooked up so you can see, you can measure and get more exact numbers, and you can see where you need to make changes over time. The body's an organic, it's a moving target. It's not set in stone, right? And you want to understand the principles if you're trying to manipulate your body composition, right? Of course, we want more toned muscle. That's your metabolism, but we also want the flexibility. We also want the recovery. So we're putting all these numbers into a context. So you're constantly looking at that number wherever you are. If it's poor or it's fair, your goal is to get to the next category, which would VO2 max test, right? There's no way that you can do that unless you have some type of cardiovascular fitness. That's the only way you're going to be able to see that VO2 max test, right? We went through a period last year, I think the second half of last year, we implemented more jump rope, which I probably at the time felt excruciating. That was excruciating. That was a significant weight drop, but that was like really a tremendous amount of cardiovascular conditioning. So you're still seeing the benefit of that cardiovascular conditioning today. And a lot of times we added it on at the end of the workout, if you remember. Yes? Yeah, that was a lot of cardiovascular conditioning, right? We were bleeding with sweat. But now it's harder for your heart to get, like, am I working or I'm not? Because it's your heart muscle is more fit, right? But that is as a result of, I would say years, but like over a year of training. When you see the elite conditioning on that VO2 max, that means that's somebody that has been training themselves for years. So they have a really, really excellently conditioned heart. That's not just coming from 2 or 3 months, right? So it's humbling how long it takes the body to change, right? When you add in your learning curve, you add in the flu, vacations, and other stuff, right? You could potentially miss a whole training cycle. There's 4 quarters in the year, right? If we add all that up, you could lose like a whole cycle. Many people probably lose like 4 months in terms of falling off, sick, or just not being consistent. Consistency is everything. You really don't get a chance to see where you need to make the changes if you're not consistent, right? Some of us are scared to change because we have so much vanity and shame around how our bodies look. But just get in there and, imperfectly, so you can watch yourself grow, watch yourself change. This is the main place we want to see the change. Even when you feel like, oh, I'm not perfect, oh, my body fat is it. That's just your ego messing with you, trying to shame you into going back into the bed, to go lay back down, right? But we're just going to put the ego on the side with right next to our water bottle. Say cheers and say you could come along for the ride, but we got business to take care of. All right, let's turn this heart rate monitor on. Right, and if you don't track, or let me say if you do track, which most people don't want to because you're judging, I guarantee you, if you take pictures, if you use a scale that's distinguishing your body fat, right, and what those numbers mean, the numbers on the scale break down what the numbers mean on the scale, it is going to help you not go back. Why? Because you can see visual, objective numbers and feedback for the changes in your body. If you didn't track it, then you don't, you have nothing to hold you in a place like, whoa, you can see the result of all of your work, right? Would you agree? It makes a big difference when you can see your transformation is documented, right? And that's something you're able to do without having to go to a college, university laboratory. All right, so let's set this for functional training. So you're going to use the 2 dish rags, or you're going to use your jump rope. And let's get it popping. Training started. So I can see right now my heart rate is at 90 beats per minute. If I tap that, it's 51%, so I know that means I'm not really doing much of anything. Let's grab the rope or the 2 dish towels. So this is my classic bread and butter 15, 20 minutes, how I learned to do push-ups, movement practice. So you can take 2 dish towels or an inexpensive jump rope. I want to see exactly what my heart is doing. So level 1 is just lift the knees to the chest so you can release your back. If at any point you feel like you need to recover, that would be your active rest or your active recovery, right? Let's make the screen bigger. All right, here we go. So you can just lift the knees to the chest, or you can take your basic jump with the feet together. So you're working on your coordination. You are improving fitness. Good, and relax. So coming down to the floor for plank steps. Coming right down to the floor. Good, nice form, Tracy. So, tabletop position, spread the fingertips, tuck your hips under, press your hands into the floor. Level 1, step the right foot outside of the right hand. Back down to center, left foot steps outside the left hand. Or level 2, step it out. This is 2, center, 2, 3, 3, 4, center, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, good, and 10. So we got arms, we got core, all of that is built in. Number 2, getting the body nice and warm. So you can stay with the 2 dish towels, or you can open the rope up. Now, little distinction. If you're running, at some point, both feet leave the floor. But with jump rope, it's actually not high impact, right? Because you always have a foot. And even if I do high knees, one foot is in contact with the floor. So it's a good way to actually help you build ankle, knee, hip stability, right? Number 2, here we go. Good, and rest. Good. So take a couple of arm swings, open up the chest and the shoulders. Good, swing the arms back, then reach for the ceiling. Good, hands behind the head, trunk rotation. So stomach muscles pulled in. Notice if you feel any tightness in your back. So I know I usually feel tight in the back on my right side. Second plank step, coming down to the floor. Take your appropriate level. Press your hands to the floor, tuck the hips under. Here we go. This is 1, center, 1. Keep your butt out of the air. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10. Good, and 10. Roll the wrists out for a second. Next movement pattern. So from tabletop position, your knee, you're striving to squeeze it towards your elbow, right? So from the tabletop position, hips are tucked under. Right knee, squeeze it to your elbow. Place it down, squeeze, place it down. Level 2, full extension, tuck your hips under, right? Knee to elbow. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. 5. And coming up. Whew. So it's a nice, efficient way to get the body nice and hot. Now, you can stay with basic jump forward, but we'll also, well, something else. You're training your core with jump rope, right? Because you naturally have to tuck your hips under. Your core is nice and compact. As you're lifting your knees up, your whole core, if you were to put your fingertips inside your obliques, you can feel that your core is engaged while you're jumping rope. So you can either stay forward, or you take your 2 dish towels or your rope and you're going to take it backwards. That's also going to help to warm up your shoulders, right? Here we go. If you so, we're used to going forward. If you get stuck in the rope, just keep going. Here we go. Oops. So that was backwards. Woo. Chest and shoulders again. Arm swings to the rear. Good. Cross and then throw. Cross and throw. Plank steps again. So it's a nice little circuit. Spread the fingertips. Tuck the hips under. Belly button's drawn into the spine. Step it out. Big step. 1 and 1. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9. Hold 10. Woo. Hold 10. Rotate your right arm up to the ceiling. Push that back heel and extended leg toward the wall. Put that hand down, turn it down, step center. Left foot outside the left hand. Push your back heel and extended leg. Push it to the rear wall and extend. Reach your fingertips up for the ceiling. Good. Rest for a second. So you're taking knee to elbow, working your obliques. Tabletop position. Take your appropriate level. Either you're on your knees, bring your right knee to right elbow, or from a full extension plank. Extend, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Roll the wrists out. So you should feel yourself getting nice and warm. So the combination of the rope and the core together is efficient. If ever I'm traveling, this is one of the favorite things I would do when I was working in the travel industry. Efficient. So even inside the hotel room, right between the bed and the wall, usually I have just enough space for the jump rope. So you can either stay with basic jump with the 2 dish towels, or now you're going to add a twist. You either stay in basic, right? Trunk is engaged, deep core muscles, draw them up and in, or you can add a little bit of a twist. Whew. Here we go. Accordion. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Arm swings to the rear. Scale of 1 to 10. What are you feeling? Scale of 1 to 10. All right. So just add it on. We're going to add your push-ups. Right? Coming down to the floor for push-ups. So spread the fingertips. Press your hands into the floor. Walk your feet slightly back of the hips. Tuck your hips under. Squeeze your thighs together. Here we go. Down. Exhale up 1. Down, exhale up 2. Squeeze your thighs. Down, exhale up 3. Down, exhale up 4. Down, exhale up 5. Down, exhale up 6. Down, exhale up 7. Down, exhale up 8. Squeeze your glutes. Down, exhale up 9. Down, exhale up 10. Rest if you need to. Down, exhale up 1. Down, exhale up 2. Down, exhale up 3. Down, exhale up 4. Down, exhale up 5. Down, exhale up 6. Down, exhale up 7. Down, exhale up 8. Down, exhale up 9. Down, exhale up 10. Drop down to your stomach. Spinal extensions. So I'm laying flat, but I'm tucking my hips under. I'm looking straight down. My neck is nice and long. Point your toes. Lift the front of your thighs off the floor. Squeeze your glutes. Look down. You're going to raise your torso off the floor. Squeeze the elbows together. Here we go. 1, 2. Looking straight down. 3, 4 for your back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Plank steps. Take your appropriate level. Tuck your hips under. Step it out. This is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, hold 10. So right foot is outside the right hand. Briefly touch your right elbow to the floor. Feel a deeper stretch. Place your hand back down. Step center. Left foot steps outside the left hand. Briefly touch that left elbow down to the floor. Come back up. Step center. And come up. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Push-ups. Excuse me. Don't leave it at one quick set of push-ups. Here we go. Down, exhale up 1. Squeeze your thighs. Down, exhale up 2. Down, exhale up 3. Down, exhale up 4. Down, exhale up 5. Down, exhale up 6. Down, exhale up 7. Down, exhale up 8. Down, exhale up 9. Down, exhale up 10. Rest if you need to. Down, exhale up 1. Down, exhale up 2. Down, exhale up 3. Down, exhale up 4. Down, exhale up 5. Down, exhale up 6. Down, exhale up 7. Down, exhale up 8. Ooh, down, exhale up 9. Down, exhale up 10. That's 40 push-ups. Get a sip of water. Whew. You should feel your body nice and hot. 14 minutes in. Get a quick sip of water. So if you remember, our benchmark, right, for all of us, is at least 5 sets, is 5 sets of 20 on the push-ups. That's going to be our standard, right? So I want you to think of standards, because businesses have standards. This is the business of our body, right? So we have our new full body bridge. You have your 5 sets of 20. We have horse stance. I think you weren't here, so we had added horse stance, which you're going to do today, Tracy. And then you don't have your pull-up bar yet, Regina, but everybody's going to have a pull-up bar. So you just want to start to hang. You're adding 10 seconds, right? Then we're going to progress from there to just starting to get the movement pattern. But 10 seconds, not with a super hard grip. 10 seconds of a hang before you get into the shower. Grab your jump rope. So today is a jump rope day. This is recovery. It's not heavy weights. We're not doing heavy weights today. So basic jump. So we did twists. You can either stay with your basic or you have out, in. So remember your core. If you're tucking your hips under, your core is getting activated and working at the same time. Ready? Here we go. Oops. Keep going. Out, in. 10 or basic jump. On knees to chest. Take your appropriate level. Breathe deep. Whoop, keep going. So if you feel like you need to lift the knees to the chest to rest, you can do that. Keep going. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. My heart rate is only at 82%. Lift the knees to the chest. Oh. Take some arm swings to the rear. Hands behind the head for good mornings, which you usually do with the stick. Keep the elbows open. Flat back. Stand, drive your hips forward. Open your legs a little bit wider, Tracy. A little bit more of a flat back. Here, stand it up. Over. Stand it up so you get some hip extension. All right, big shoulder rolls back. Let's take the hips over to the side, side, front. Squeeze the glutes, open the hips, side, hips, and the glutes on the back wall, side, front, side, and back. Big hip circles. Put your thumbs right behind your lower back. Good, opposite direction. Balance. Here's your standing leg. Pick the other leg. So externally, stir that pot of gumbo to the outside.
Burning fat.
Lubricate the knees a little bit. Opposite direction. Good. Externally rotate at the ankle joint. Big circles. Opposite direction. Good. Balance, opposite leg. Squeeze your glutes so you have a strong foundation in this leg. Pick it up. Externally, stir that pot of soup. Working on your balance. Opposite direction. Good. Externally rotate at the ankle joint. Opposite direction. Good. So just take a minute and you're going to rock backward and forward. So rock back on your heels. So your toes point up to the ceiling and then come up onto your balls of your feet for a calf raise. Rock back and then come up. So we don't want to forget the little joints that is the best supporting actresses, right? All the way up. Working the calves. Rock back. Good. Now inversion and eversion. So your toes are pointed straight ahead. Open your feet all the way out like pages of a book. And then turn all the way the opposite direction. So you're trying to get the book this way. Open up the pages of the book and then turn the feet all the way in. Open it up. This is working your ankle joint in another kind of way. All the way in. Use all these muscles in the feet. Notice whatever happens at the ankle affects the knees, also affects the hip. If you put your fingers on your hip, you can feel your hips are also being affected. So if you have bad shoes or your shoes are all run down, that's going to affect your knees. That's also going to affect your hips. Right? So we have push-ups. Coming down again. Number 3. Let's bang out the push-ups first. Only 3. So we're setting a standard. Tuck your hips under. Squeeze your thighs together. You have one mermaid leg. Squeeze your glutes. Here we go. Down, exhale up 1. Do what you can. Down, exhale up 2. Down, exhale up 3. Down, exhale up 4. Slow it down if you need to. Down, exhale up 5. Down, exhale up 6. Down, exhale up 7. Down, exhale up 8. Down, exhale up 9. Down, exhale up 10. Rest if you need to. Down, exhale up 1. Down, exhale up 2. Down, exhale up 3. Down, exhale up 4. Down, exhale up 5. Down, exhale up 6. Down, exhale up 7. Down, exhale up 8. Down, exhale up 9. Down, exhale up 10. Sit your glutes back to your heels. Walk your hands out in front of you. Feel a nice stretch and puppy pose. Whew. So you're taking your knee to the elbow again, right? So take your appropriate level if you're on tabletop position or fully extended plank. Here we go. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 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 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lay it flat. Spinal extension. Right? Working on your posture and your back muscles. So you're going to raise your torso up. The only difference is this time I want your thumb pointed up toward the ceiling. Right? So hand is right here. Thumbs are pointed up toward the ceiling. Point your toes. Tuck your hips under. Pull your belly button away from the floor. Your head is down. Your neck is nice and long. Raise your thighs off the floor. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lower down. Take your thumbs, arms out to the side. Thumbs point toward the ceiling. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Woo! Take your arms down by your sides, but you're still going to have the thumbs rotated up, so the thumbs point toward the ceiling. One more spinal extension, raise it up. 1, 2, letter A. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, oh my gosh, and 10. Coming right up. Body should be nice and warm. So those are excellent for your back, right? So you had letter Y. Just so you can see, letter Y, when you're raising the torso up. Letter T, right? Squeezing the shoulder blades, and then down. Notice I'm externally rotated. Letter A when I'm raising the torso off, right? Y, T, and then A. Grab your jump rope. Oh my gosh. So here we go. So you can either stay with your basic jump, or you have feet together, little hop side to side. So your core is still engaged, just hop, hop, gently side to side. Right, here we go. Breathe deep. Uh-oh, keep going. Almost done. Oh, getting caught in my toes. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ay, Dios mío. Back down. Let's bang out the push-ups. Nice form, Tracy. Here we go. Woo. Only 20, so we got 3 down. Spread the fingertips. Tuck the hips under. Squeeze your thighs together. Squeeze. You have 1 mermaid leg. Listen to your inhale. And your exhale, do what you can. You're going to mark your personal best in your calendar. Here we go. Down, exhale up 1. Down, exhale up 2. Down, exhale up 3. Down, exhale up 4. Down, exhale up 5. Down, exhale up 6. Down, exhale up 7. Down, exhale up 8. Down, exhale up 9. Down, exhale up 10. Down, exhale up 1. Down, exhale up 2. Down, exhale up 3. Down, exhale up 4. Down, exhale up 5. Down, exhale up 6. Down, exhale up 7. Down, exhale up 8. Down, exhale up 9. Down, exhale up 10. Sit your glutes back to your heels for a minute. Walk your hands out in front of you. Woo! Plank step. Spread the fingertips, tabletop position, or full extension. Here we go. Step it out. Right foot steps outside the right hand. Center. Left foot steps outside the left hand. This is 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6. Hold 6 for a second. Center. 6. Center. 7. Center. 7. Hold 8. Center. 8. Center. 9. Rotate. Fingertips reach for the ceiling. Turn it down. Center. 9. Rotate. Turn down. Center. Last one. 10. Rotate. Reach your fingertips for the ceiling. Step center. 10. Rotate. Ooh. Take a quick little wrist. Roll your wrist out if you need to. Roll the wrist out. So plank step, push-ups. Wrap your mind around it. Starting to get dyslexic. I don't know if this is 4 or 5. Here we go. Let's bang it out. We'll figure it out later. Here we go. Down, exhale up 1. Down, exhale up 2. Down, exhale up 3. Down, exhale up 4. Down, exhale up 5. Down, exhale up 6. Down, exhale up 7. Down, exhale up 8. Down, exhale up 9. Down, exhale up 10. Starting to get toasty. Down, exhale up 1. Down, exhale up 2. Down, exhale up 3. Down, exhale up 4. Only 5 to go. Down, exhale up 1. Down, exhale up 2. Down, exhale up 3. Down, exhale up 4. Oh gosh. Sit your glutes back to your heels. Woo. So you have plank position, knee to elbows. Take your appropriate level, tuck your hips under. Here we go. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 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 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh my gosh. Sit your glutes back to your heels. Rest for a second. Roll your wrists out. Tracy, is that 4 sets or 5 sets? Yeah. That's 5? 5. Okay, so that's 100. Excellent. So let's just finish off the warm-up. Full body bridge. Woo. This will be a little recovery. So bring your heels relatively close to your glutes. Place the hands flat in back of you. Inhale. So the modification would just be right here, half body bridge. Right? If you've been with me longer, then it'll be full body bridge. Use your common sense. Inhale. And exhale. Come up, squeeze your glutes. Good, slowly come down. And wave out the wrist. Number 2, heels close to the glutes. Place the hands flat, or you're taking a modified half bridge. Hands flat, inhale. Exhale, press up. Squeeze your glutes, protect your back. Floor down. Wave out the wrist. Here comes number 3. Place the hands flat. Inhale and exhale. Press up. Slowly come down. 2 to go. Wave out the wrist. Place the hands flat. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze your glutes. And come down. Wave the wrist. Woo. Circulate your wrist. Internally extract, make a fist and extend. This is the last one. Place the hands flat behind you. Inhale. Exhale. And come down, hug the knees into the chest. Woo. Arms extended out to the side. Window shield wiper, drop both knees over to the right side, center. Then the left, get some mobility in your back. Left, center, right, left, center, right. Happy baby. Both legs up. Hands on the outside of the foot. So pull the knees into your chest, even though the knees are on the outside of your chest. Pull your knees into the chest at the same time you're rolling backwards. So pull in, let your hips roll backwards so you can get big stretch in your lower back. Good, release. Shake it out. One more time, hands on the outside of the foot. You're pulling knees into the chest at the same time you're rolling backwards. Inhale, exhale. Come up. Get some water. We should be warm. That's our warm-up portion.